Hello and welcome to another episode of Techification. I know I haven't been doing videos for a long time, but I thought that an iPad Air unboxing would be the perfect way to resume creating videos for you guys. So this is the iPad Air, which I picked up for school, which I'm going to be using next year. And this is the 32 gig model. And I know this is a long overdue unboxing, but I figured I'd get this one so I could have it for September as opposed to waiting for the new iPad. Although I'm definitely curious to see what Apple is going to reveal this year in October at WWDC. So today I'm going to be doing the unboxing of the iPad Air Smart Cover, which I got in green, and the iPad Air 32 gig, which I got in white. So here it is in the packaging, and I'm just going to go ahead and lift up. Apple does such a great job in packaging. I'm always so impressed with their boxes, and I just love opening them. Inside, then there's a short little instructions manual in both English and French because I'm in Canada, and more Apple stickers, as if I don't have enough of those. Inside I have a lightning cable. I don't mind the lightning cable. I prefer it more than my micro USB on my Android phone. And I like that it's double-sided, or you can put it in both ways. It's just too bad that they don't include an adapter, and that the adapters for it between the 30 pin and the new lightning cable are so expensive. And this is the wall wart, which I won't get into. And that is everything. So now I am going to go ahead and do the case. And then I will, and then I have to record the glamour footage, which you saw throughout that whole piece. So the case comes out from the front. You just kind of take apart the plastic. Sorry, I should say the cover. It's not the case, it's the cover. I didn't want the case because I thought that the back of the iPad looked just so nice that I didn't want to hide it, and I don't. Oh, here we go. So just a little bit of sticky piece of tape, and then it slides right through like that. And here is the case, and there's instructions to put it on, although it could not be simpler. It's all magnetic. So you basically just put it in place, and it sits on the iPad like that. So just quickly, I'll show you the 3 positions that it can be in. So just like this, and then when you lift up, then it wakes up the iPad. You can fold it around like this, and then you can prop it up either this way for watching movies, and this is actually sturdier than the old case, than the old case, which is great. Or you can lay it down like this, so it's better for working. Yeah, I watch a lot of movies on my iPad, so I'm definitely going to be using it like this pretty often. So hello again. So you might have noticed that there's a slightly different setup and that the iPad is now on. What actually happened is that I was so excited to use the iPad that I set up, and I forgot to explain about what's new about this particular device. So I thought I would do that, and then we can go to the conclusion afterwards, which I already filmed. So first, I'll take you around the device. So I have my green cover on it right now, and so at the top, then there's the headphone jack and the power button. That will also be the lock button. So to lock it, you can either press the button, or you can actually use the cover, and that will lock it and unlock it, as you can hear it locking and unlocking. Around the right side, then there is the multifunction switch. So this can either be configured to mute the device or to lock the orientation. I personally like it to lock the orientation because I use that functionality more often. Beside that is volume up and volume down. And just like on the iPhone, the volume up button can be used for taking photos on the iPad, although generally I would use the iPhone for taking pictures, not the iPad. Down the rest of the side, there's not much, or nothing. along the bottom, there's 2 speaker ports and the lightning connector. And then around the other side, there's nothing, but there's a magnetic strip inside, which is how this smart case and cover connect to the iPad. And of course, on the back, there is there's a new camera. It can record 1080p, and it's better than the last generation. And there's a microphone here and a microphone at the top. And on the front, then there's obviously a very large, beautiful Retina screen. Retina meaning that there are more pixels per inch than the eye can distinguish. But I will have a video coming soon that explains what Retina is and why it's beneficial in its own video, so stay tuned for that. And in the front, there's a FaceTime camera that's 720p, and I'm especially looking forward to this because I'm going away next year, so I look forward to being able to FaceTime my friends and family back home. And then, of course, the home button at the bottom. And in terms of internal specifications, really the big difference between this iPad and previous generations is this iPad has the A7 chip. And what's special about the A7 chip is it's a 64-bit processor. So before that, all iPads were 32-bit. And that was great. But what happens is that the next kind of step is moving into 64-bit processing, which is what the Macs use and that's the desktop standard. And the reason why I wanted to get this over the cheaper, older iPad was the way that I see Apple planning their software. This is going to be around longer because it has a 64-bit chip, whereas the 32-bit chip in the last iPad, the iPad 4, will be out of date much sooner because it's a 32-bit processor and it relies on the older architecture. There will also be another video explaining 64-bit versus 32-bit in its own video coming soon, so stay tuned for that as well. And I'm going to go back now to the other part, which I recorded before this, so let's just keep going. So one last thing that I realized shortly after I recorded that last piece that I forgot was that you may notice that I did not get a screen protector for my iPad. Normally if I'm buying an iPhone or the older generation iPad, then I bought a screen protector, and many people do. But with the iPad Air, something that I actually learned today when I was buying it, is that the iPad Air, there are no screen protectors from Apple that they sell because I guess they're not high enough quality. And also that you don't even need one with the iPad Air because it has a coating on the glass itself that allows you to wipe away fingerprints and is more durable than just the glass, so it won't get scratched as easily. So that is something to keep in mind, and just know that as of the day of filming this, then there are no screen protectors that Apple sells because they were not satisfied with what the companies were providing them. And in fact, you don't actually need one because of the coating on the iPad itself. So I hope that you have found this, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I definitely look forward to writing my review of the iPad Air. Speaking of which, if you haven't checked out the other reviews which I posted recently on the website, be sure to check those out. The link to the website will be in the video description below. So thank you guys so much for watching once again, and I will see you in the next video.